massive weekend of finals has just passed, and now we have one final left of the club season before attention firmly switches to international rugby. So for one more time this season, it's time to look back on last week and look ahead to this week's action in This Week in Fantasy Rugby. First up, a recap of last week's action before we look at the Prem final and the URC final and see the final FRG tables for those leagues. It's time to look at my team from Super Rugby on Super Brew. And it was a solid week for me for the semi-finals. I ended up with 181 points. With fewer and fewer players being available, it's harder and harder to get a good score, so I was happy with that overall score. 181 points. Leroy Carter was on captain. He got 20 points after the bonus, which was okay. Will Jordan did very well, 20.5 points. D-Mac with a huge 44 points, delivering the points like he's done all season long. Christian Leo Willie, 14 points, which was solid. So overall, pretty happy with that. Onwards to the final this weekend. Now we take a look at the finals. Let's kick off with Premiership Rugby. So first of all, taking a quick look at my team. I ended up with 149.5 points, which was pretty average for the week. I made Will Mule my captain, only 14 points after the captain bonus. None of the back three players really delivered across the teams. The points were won elsewhere. Solomoni Kata and Max Ajomo both did pretty well with me in my centres, 10 points and 12 points respectively. Finn Russell, absolutely huge performance, 31 points from him. Guy Pepper, man of the match performance, 20.5 points. And Thomas Dutoit, once again delivering 15.5 points. So in the end, 149.5 points, solid enough. You're never going to win the league in the final match of the season. But let's take a look at the FRG league table to see who dominated this season. And it's a huge congratulations to STJ Coley with his beaten blue, black and white. He's a Bath fan as well, so it was a massive weekend for him. Congratulations, 4,054 points, winning the league. In second place, we had Nitwits RFC of Adros. Parquin came third, and then we had Univiala, Alf, Paul, Joe Taring, Trasler Matt, Frowdy and Peter Poe making up the top 10. Quick look at my Dream XV team as well to see how I got on in the final round of the season. So I ended up 10th overall in the season rankings, 6th place for round 20 with 515.4 points. Captain Will Muir did a bit better in the Dream XV scoring. Adam Radwan as well, 32 points. Ajomo and Kata delivered the points in midfield. Finn Russell, amazing score. I really should have made him my captain. Guy Pepper, also an excellent score with 53.3 points. And then Tom Dunn in the hooker position, 46 points. Excellent going. So that's it for the Prem this season. A great season all round. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep an eye out for my top Fantasy 15 video, which is now live already, outlining the best fantasy players from this season. Definitely one for you to bookmark for next season when you're selecting your first team. Okay, moving on over to URC and the URC final, which Leinster won convincingly. My team was all in on Leinster. I ended up with 150 points, which again was okay. Jimmy O'Brien, 10 points. James Lowe, 11.5 points. Okay from those guys in the back three. Geordie Barrett, 14.5 points. Sam Prendergast, 19 points. A very good score. Jack Conan, Josh van der Fleer both got on the try sheet, 18 points and 16.5 points respectively for the two of them. Baird with 14 points. Dan Sheehan was my captain. Didn't get on the score sheet, unfortunately, but still did respectably with 17 points overall after the captain bonus. So I didn't reach the top of the rankings, but let's see who led the FRG league. A huge congratulations goes to Wilco with 4,209 points. Excellent final score. We got Lizelot in second place, Jean in third place, Univiala again making the top 10 appearance in fourth place. Then we got Keith, Rowdy, FCB, Sealay, A Boy Named Stu, and the Locks Are Loaded making up the top 10. And that's it for URC. As with Prem, I'll also do the Fantasy Top 15 video, which should be going live this weekend. Okay, on to this week. So let's take a very quick look at the Super Rugby Grand Final this week. We've got the Chiefs versus the Crusaders. It's going to be super tight. The bookies are giving the Chiefs a 1 point advantage in the handicap betting. But honestly, it's too close to call. And in my selection this week, I've just focused on reliable players who've been delivering from the fantasy perspective week in, week out. So taking a look at my 5 to watch this week, kicking off with Will Jordan, off the back of an excellent semi-final where he's one of only 4 players to score 20 or more points. Jordan will again be a massive danger in the final. He got 2 tries in the semi, he's firmly back in form, and he should be an excellent captain option. Then we've got Damien McKenzie. He was the top fantasy scorer in the semis with a massive 44.5 points. He's the highest scoring player in Super Brew this season, and again will be an attacking and kicking points threat in the final. Then we've got Christian Leo Willie. He's been the breakout back row star of the latter rounds of the Super Rugby this season. He scored 14 fantasy points or more in his last 3 games, and he should once again be in the thick of the action once again this weekend. Then we've got Sevu Reece. If it's not Jordan in the points for Crusaders, then it will likely be Sevu Reece. His form's tailed a bit in recent weeks, but the finals are a different story altogether. He's been here before and won, and he should make a big impact again on Saturday. And then finally, I've got Wallace Satiti. He's really picking up his form since returning from injury. In his 4 starts this season, he's not scored any lower than 12 points in any game. You can safely back him to go well again this weekend. As always, my full Super Rugby picks for this round can be found at fantasyrugbygeek.com. This will be the last this week in Fantasy Rugby for a while, unless we get any games for the Lions Tour, the Summer Internationals, the Women's Rugby World Cup game going live. If there's any news of any new games, I'll share it here first. So that's it. Enjoy the Super Rugby Final. Enjoy the opening match of the Lions Tour. And as always, make sure you get your teams in, and good luck.